that I've had with quite a number of clients recently is the whole standards issue.
Okay.
How do you put your standards in place and get a guy to comply? Sorry. If your standard is, okay, I don't want him dating other people, I want to build towards exclusivity, you frame it in a way that the words are used initially and you let him make the choice. And then you must go to actions. And what most women forget is that the more a guy has invested, the more he deserves words. In other words, early dating, you're much more action heavy, but later dating, you're going to put more words in before your actions or relationships. So let me give you a practical example. One date goes well. The guy says, I want to see you again. And you say, hey, I'd love to see you too. Date ends. You text him saying, hey, when are you free this week? He doesn't text you back. You've already shown that you want to see him with words. So you go to actions right then and there. You probably just wouldn't text him again if he doesn't follow up with you from there. If you're married to someone and they put years of investment into you, you're going to go to counselors, you're going to go to psychologists, you're going to sit down and have multiple discussions with them before you put actions into place. Right? They get a lot more chances with words.
Right.
A lot of women early on rely on words when really a man has to earn words. You do it once, after a couple of months, maybe he's earned a second set of words. But I see a lot of women and clients who come to me who get very focused on words. I have to tell him, I have to communicate this, text him this, say this. And they're giving way too many words to people who haven't earned it. So words are the most specifically the people who have earned it, who have gone along that trail and invested with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very, very good. That's very good. It's really important. And I think that it's tricky because I do think that women, we do have, I know I process by speaking things. Like sometimes I'll say to my husband, I'll say, I just need you to listen to me. And this may not come out in any really good order, and it might not make a lot of sense, but I just need to talk through this to get my thoughts out there to clarify where I'm going with this. And I'll take 15 minutes to say something, and then my husband will say, oh, so what you're saying is da-da-da-da-da. One sentence, he's got it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say.
Nailed it.
It took me that to process things. But what I'm hearing you say is when a relationship has gone on for a longer period of time where both people have more invested, then it might be worthwhile to invest the words and explore the communication and go in all those deep, dark crannies. When it's one or two dates, do you really have to have a big, long conversation? Is that kind of where we're going with this?
Exactly. You're not going to sit someone down who's been on 2 dates and give them this is how you made me feel. This is how you should operate. This is, if you want great relationships, I really felt this with you. You're investing so much in someone who really hasn't given you anything. It's completely proportionate. So that's where you simply walk away. You might say, hey, I'd love to see you. You don't get a text back. Cool. I'm going to go on a date with someone else now. Nailed it.
You're done. Yeah. And I think that's a challenge for a lot of women to not want to overprocess these things.
Yeah, it can be. It definitely can be. And I think when you're and to go a little bit deeper, when you're in a really good place with your energies, energetically, you're in a healthy space. And that's something I'll obviously work with clients on. It helps that whole process along because you realize that it's an unhealthy energy or pattern on that person's side. And you realize that someone who goes on a great date, says, I want to see you again, and then just stops texting, they've clearly got shit happening. They've got erratic behavior. They've got emotional turmoil. And so the healthy energy in you goes, it's nothing to do with me. It's from their pattern of behavior, I can see it's their thing. And so you just it's like water off a duck's back. But if you're not feeling as confident, it's easy to go, oh, it's something I did wrong. It's something that's wrong with me energetically. It's a mistake that I made. And then you want to do all this processing when in fact there's nothing to process. It's just the fact that they are in a shitty space.
Mm-hmm. So if a woman goes out with a man, let's just say 2 or 3 times, it goes really well, and then he just disappears. He ghosts. He was texting, he was asking her out, then he just ghosts. Does a woman just energetically walk away from that, or does she send a text and say, "Hey, you okay? Love to see you," or what does she do?
Well, yeah, you definitely make yourself clear. And if it's been a few good dates, 2 to 3, you'd probably give him, you'd assume the best. First you'd say, "Hey, I'd love to see you." No response. Couple of days, you say, "Hey, what are you up to? Like, I hope everything's all good with you." Still no response. You might go, "Hey, like, don't know what's going on with you. Let me know if you want to chat again. I had a lot of fun with you. If you're not vibing it, all good. Hope everything's okay." And then you'd leave it there. He gets a little bit more. He gets the benefit of the doubt. Things have gone well. Maybe something major happened. And then you kind of just have to energetically let that go. Because if he's fine physically, if everything is like okay in his life, you know that energetically something is blocking him. And it's not your job to be the police and go in and find out what that is. Because
right.
just waste a whole bunch of time doing that when you could be investing your energy into someone else. Being a detective, it's not for people who haven't earned it. And I'd hate to see you waste your time being a detective when you could be investing your time in someone who you don't need to be a detective.
Yeah, you don't need to be a detective or a therapist or save somebody.
Exactly.
And there are times for women when certain women want to do that kind of work. Or at least they think they do for a time, but it doesn't go well.
It's not very rewarding. No.
Someone
posted a meme recently, and it's like, what was it? It was like, "Ladies, you are not there you are not a counselling office for damaged or emotionally unavailable men," or something like that. And I said, nailed it. Because you're not. That's their stuff to deal with. It's their own struggles, and it's not your responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to ask you, I don't know if you have this one on your list, but one of the things that I see that happens for a lot of women is they get overly focused on chemistry in the early stages of a relationship, or they misread chemistry to represent a deeper connection than what is actually there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because they feel the strong chemistry, they think that they think that they're meant to be, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're told. That's what we're told. Hollywood, society, movies tell us that if you can just get the chemistry, then you will be able to move into a deep, fulfilling relationship. And it's BS. Sometimes that happens, which is super beautiful. Other times the chemistry builds quite slowly. And the majority of successful relationships, you see there's chemistry, but it's not insane. It doesn't have excessive addictive quality. And when I'm coaching a client, if she's struggling with someone she's really addicted to, like obsessively chemistry addicted to, it actually tells me she's in a form of addiction, not a form of love. And that's a bit of a different chat about brain chemistry, but essentially that's a window for self-improvement where this guy has lit something up in her that she's either not accessed before, or maybe she used to access, but she's pushed it down or shamed it. And the guy comes in and in 1 second lights that whole side of her brain back up. And the brain goes, "Whoa, I haven't felt like this in years. This man is responsible for me feeling like this." When in fact, the truth is she is responsible for her feeling like this. The man to know a password to help her access it. So it's really a window that she can access that herself. And once she can do that herself, she will truly know if she's in love with the man, because she won't need him to feel that way. She will have that empowerment within herself, and then she will be able to go to him if she still wishes to, not from a place of dependency, i.e. codependency, but from a place of empowerment, from a place of fulfillment. So it's important to recognize if you have chemistry, that addictive, obsessive element of it. Don't confuse the dopamine highs with the true love underneath.